Hey guys, it's Luke Devcich here from Patient Rush, and today I have with me Logan Reiter from Trailhead Advanced Dentistry in Charlotte. Thank you
How's it
very
going,
much
guys?
for coming on today, Logan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on your podcast.
Awesome, awesome, mate. Well, let's kick it off by giving us a little bit of background on how you got into the industry and sort of where you find yourself now.
Sure. So mine was kind of a circuitous route into dentistry. It's not something that I grew into, like a family owning several practices or anything like that. Really had no dental influence whatsoever, but knew I wanted to do something in medicine from an early age. My grandfather was a pediatrician, so I kind of always liked messing around in his home office, and it piqued my interest. So went through school, decided, something in medicine. And then at about that time, my sister started working in a dental lab and got further into the dental industry and kind of explained to me how nice the lifestyle was. And it really seemed to fit my interests and fit my eye. So late in college, focused towards dental school. As soon as I got into dental school, it was like a fish finding water. Just really enjoyed it. Everything fit real well. And so I graduated in 2014. I've been practicing ever since, but moving all over the place. But it's just one of those things that, lifestyle met interests, met a great career, and that's where I am now.
That's so cool. That's awesome. I always love hearing when people, they sort of, I did a podcast earlier today as well with a guy who said he knew from when he was young that he wanted to be a dentist. I thought that was really cool. But then also when it just fits, right? Like an activity, a profession, which sounds like exactly what you did. It's a special thing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of weird. You see those kids when they're young and everyone's like, oh, what do you want to be? A fireman, astronaut, doctor. But when, like you say, doctor from age 3 beyond, and you actually make that happen, it's pretty cool to see.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. It's actually funny because I did in my second to last year of high school, I did a dental, you follow along with a dentist for a week, whatever, I can't remember what it's called, but the job experience thing.
Like a shadowing.
Yeah, shadowing. Yeah, yeah. And I thought I wanted to be a dentist, and it's funny how it turns out. Now, obviously, I work, really closely with dentists, so it ended up going in a similar direction. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and then, so you're saying you're moving around. Is that you're working in different clinics, Logan, and getting different jobs and living in different places? And then I believe you have opened or you are opening a new clinic. Is that right?
We are opening in December of this year. This
Yeah.
is my first clinic that I'll own on my own, starting it from the ground up. But yeah, I've been a little bit all over the place. When I first graduated, halfway through dental school, a great dentist from my hometown kind of already offered me a job, and you might as well go and try it out. It's back home. The people there. You feel like you're giving back to your community, but it wasn't the place that I wanted to settle down forever. I met my wife in dental school, and she had started a residency in Pittsburgh that same year and then decided to specialize. And so after the first year, I moved to Pittsburgh with her. I was there for 3 years while she finished up her endodontic residency. And then after that was done, we moved down here to Charlotte. And so just because of 3 different moves and some job changes in between there, I've been in 4 or 5 different practices over these 6 years.
Wow, wow. Oh, you would have seen a lot of different ways of operating a clinic.
Yeah. So certainly there's a downside to only being at a place for about a year or so at a time. You kind of don't get to build that long-term relationship with those patients, but it did give me incredible insight into a multitude of different ways you can run a practice. And I started picking and choosing what worked for me and what I thought was the best way to treat people. And that's kind of where the vision for my practice came in.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. And so what would you say is the vision, like to give us a high level overview for your new practice that you're opening in terms of how you deal with patients and then also how you're going to attract and do your marketing and things like that? Give us a bit of a...
So, I mean, the entire mission statement is existing to change the dental experience. I don't think that we need this dogmatic approach to dental care and healthcare in general, where people come into a sterile environment, are treated the same way each time, and it's kind of like a, fill out the form and get going. I really want it to be a familiar experience, a place that after you get to know each other, you go in and you might even just drop in and say hi, because every time it feels like a good, comfortable experience with friends. I think about the atmosphere being one that you're going over to a buddy's house to watch the U.S. Open or watch a football game, and it's just a relaxed environment and come and go as you please. In that same line, though, it's going to be bringing the highest level of care that we can bring, very tech forward, and absolutely no corners being cut. So, it's very important to me to build a relationship-based practice. I don't want, one and done patchwork type dentistry. I want you to be with me and stay with me because you like the work we do, but more importantly, you like the people you get to hang out with while you're there.
Yes.
And along that line with marketing, obviously it's in the infancy. My website just went live yesterday.
Yep.
I'm trying to build some SEO, but we haven't run any real ads yet since we're more than about 3 months out. But I've already tried to initiate a good grassroots campaign, and one of my big marketing pushes leading up to about the month before opening will be going door to door, like old-fashioned salesman, putting my name out there.
Awesome. That's so cool. Well, that's exciting. It's exciting. And your vision is inspiring, Logan. It really is. It's great. I mean, with that as the foundation and the intention, I mean, there's really no way that it won't make an impact and be successful, I think,
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets me fired up.
Yeah.
One of the books that I read at the start of all of this was Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And it's really that feeling every time I go into describing this that I have a hard time putting it into words because the emotion behind it is so much stronger than what I can verbalize.
Wow. That's so cool. Yeah. That's amazing. So have you been working during the COVID situation in a clinic?
Yeah, we have. The office I've been working at, we shut down to an emergency only basis for a good 6 weeks. And during that 6 weeks, I might have gone into the office for a total of 2 hours for some, true emergencies. Most of the stuff was managed with prescriptions over the phone or getting them to, an emergency-based clinic.
Yes. Okay. So did the team there, like, how did they adjust? Was it just, okay, it's just emergency, or did they do any virtual consults to have a bit of backlog for when you reopened, or?
We didn't really have the infrastructure to implement virtual consults. So it was really, you could reach us at any time. I put my personal number out there for patients if they needed anything. And it was kind of triaging over the phone. And if they truly needed to come in, try to find a date that I could get as many people in the morning that are necessary instead of, coming in random hours each and every day.
Yeah.
But the staff, other than shutting down nearly completely for the better part of 6 weeks, once we started opening up, these guys that I'm working with now are a great couple of dentists. It's a father and son duo, and they have a great long-term staff that they just kind of roll with the punches. And when it was time to open back up, everyone showed up to work and it was ready to go. And there was a big need because patients wanted to be seen, which was more surprising than anything.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's right. When there's I think a lot of people a lot of clinics around the country have found that, haven't they? They've been really busy as soon as they open back up.
Yeah. I've heard from multiple sources that June was one of the busiest months they've had, even when you compare it to June of 2019.
Wow, that's crazy, but it makes sense
Mm-hmm.
as well. So with the clinics that you've been in, because you've got an interesting perspective, having worked in around the country in different states and in different clinics. What, in terms of marketing, have you seen that's worked really well? Strategies or ways of going about it that have been successful?
Yeah, I really have kind of seen it across the board. I would say that definitely the highest quality patients come from personal referrals and internal marketing. And obviously that's going to be the the brunt of what I try to do. But as a startup, I don't have a big internal marketing fan base. So a lot of social media ads, Google AdWords, Facebook ads are going to be the main push. I haven't honestly seen that at all in any of the other practices I've been in, which is kind of surprising given the times.
Right.
But one of the more successful external marketing campaigns was done by an office up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That was just, it was bordering large group practice. So they had a pretty decent media budget or advertising budget. And they were just on radio and local TV a lot. And that seemed to garner a lot of referrals, but it still doesn't beat what you get from a good, small patient base that, goes on a mountaintop and screams your name to all their friends because of how many good experiences they've had with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's forever and always the best form of marketing, isn't it? In any business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Great. So is there anything else that you would suggest, Logan, to maybe someone getting started or someone who's trying to get their clinic or their career in dentistry to the next level? Is anything that you would pass on there?
I mean, for me, it's been from day one, have a clear and concise vision. You have to know what you're trying to do. And if it's just be a dentist, that's not going to work out. Because everyone's just a dentist to some degree. It's you blend in at that point. Yeah. And then from there, after that clear vision, it's follow through. I have a great team of consultants that I brought on to help me out with this, and everyone on this mastermind is just awesome. But it still comes down to me at the bottom of the funnel every night of follow up and follow through, and you have to stay on it. And it's a quite a large energy expenditure to do this, and sometimes overwhelming, but perseverance always wins out.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm curious, when you, because everyone works with this differently, how do you work with your vision? Do you, do you visualize it? Do you read it every day? Do you how do you sort of work that in your day-to-day life to keep that energy there?
I mean, it's one of those, with that Start With Why book, it really gets down to how your reason, your why doesn't have necessarily anything to do with your career or your job, or what you make or what you do. It has to do with how you are as a person. And so in that respect, it's relatively easy to live the vision every day because it's just me being me, but I found a way to verbalize it and to boil it down into something. And it just so happens that it shifts right into dentistry, except in this case, the product is excellent dental work, but the why is always the same. So the vision works for me when I'm hanging out with friends or doing a home improvement project. It's always kind of the same.
I get it. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great. Oh, thank you so much, Logan. Really appreciate your time. And if someone wants to check you out, where do they go to get in contact with you or to find you?
Yeah, for sure. So the practice is on Facebook and Instagram, Trailhead Advanced Dentistry. The website, as I said, just went live yesterday. It's trailheadadvanceddentistry.com. Got lucky there and got a nice domain that's right in line with the name.
Yeah.
Shoot me a message anytime on there. Check out the website. I love to chat to anyone. And I really appreciate you bringing me on your podcast and sharing what I had to say.
Oh, mate, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Cheers, Logan.
Appreciate it, Luke. Cheers.